Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the NECA Retro Cloth Friday the 13th Part 2, Jason Voorhees. Coming to us from the folks over at NECA, this is recommended for ages 17 and up. And I never got a chance to pick up the Retro Cloth Jasons before, so we're going to be having a look at them now. And really beautiful pieces. Again, I love the fact that they are smaller scale. They're roughly about a 7-inch scale figure. But they have the cloth, so it's kind of like that in-between market between an action figure and a high-end collectible. I love that NECA is actually producing pieces like these. Kind of hope they still are going to be producing 6-inch versions of Jason, especially the Roy Jason that we're going to be looking at as well. One thing that also adds to this is the phenomenal artwork on this packaging. I don't know if they would ever do anything with it, but I would love to see them release like a book or something where it has this artwork in it. Some of the artwork that I've seen on the Retro Cloth figures is some of the best I've seen coming from NECA. I love them. Just love this artwork. On the back of the package, the read-up says, just when you thought it was safe to go back to camp 5 years after the horrible bloodbath at Camp Crystal Lake, all that remains is the legend of Jason Voorhees and his demented mother who had murdered 7 camp counselors. At the nearby summer camp, the new counselors are unconcerned about the warnings to stay away from the infamous site. Carefree, the young people roam the area, not sensing the ominous lurking presence. One by one, they are attacked and brutally slaughtered. That's a phenomenal read-up. You can head over to www.necaonline.com. You can check out the other licensed figures that NECA is producing above and beyond the Retro Cloth pieces. Says artwork is also courtesy of Jason Edmiston. I'd love to see more of his work as well. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at the NECA Friday the 13th Part 2 Retro Cloth Jason Voorhees. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Just before we have a look at Jason, I just want to show you guys the artwork that was in package. Luckily, because I sliced and took the figure out the way I could, I pulled this completely out. It's a dense cardboard too, and you can see that there's Jason there with his poor mother in the corner there. And I would love to. I might even just very well hold on to these as I'm opening them, just because the artwork is so phenomenal on the pieces. Moving that to the side. Other accessories, well, I guess not really other accessories to the artwork, but other accessories that come with Jason. You got yourself a pickaxe, which they all kind of have the same similar color. Sorry, that's a pitchfork. There's your pickaxe, but you can see that the handles are pretty much the same color. Pickaxe, pitchfork. The pitchfork seems a little small. I feel like it could be a little bit longer. Pickaxe is a good size. Nice paint on the two. And of course, no Jason would be complete without a machete. Again, a small machete. Any one of the pieces could be held in his one hand. The other hand is open for grasping victims. You get something that looks like that. Now, retro cloth figures may not be for everybody. The whole idea, too, is also that the retro cloth, they're supposed to be very similar like to the old Mego or Mego dolls of yesterday. Not yesterday, but the one thing I like, though, is that they're taking like the old retro designed figures and they're upping it with the great articulation. Now, with this particular Jason, you're not going to see a lot of details, not just yet, because he has, of course, his sack mask on. Now, deep inside that sack mask is a single hole, and the camera can bring in, you can see that there is a lone eye in there. He has more going on, don't worry. Jason also has his overalls on, which look as if you can unclasp them, not that you would want to. Jason also comes with a plaid shirt. I love that also too that all the stitch work is put in there in these areas on the pants that would have been there in the movie. Also the stitching around the pocket area as well. Just basic black boots. I found his boots were always really polished in the movie. Always polished. He's a little taller than a standard NECA figure. I think he's about 6.5 inches to 7.5 inches tall. I guess the one detail that they didn't put in there was his blackened thumb. You remember that when he's like going like this towards the blackened thumb? He's a really neat piece though. He's a really neat piece. Now before we do the reveal, yes, there is a reveal in this. For your articulation, can't really touch too much on the head just yet, but he does have socket ball hinged joints in his shoulders. So the shoulders do move forward, do move back. Not as limited in the material as I thought it was going to be. I thought when you were going to start moving the arms, the fabric was going to bunch around the shoulder socket and prevent them from moving, but no, they seem to move very easily. He does also have a hinge in the elbow, a rotation and hinge in the hand. He has a swivel in the waist, which I think is just a straight swivel as opposed to a ball joint. And then the legs go forward, back, out. More limited when it comes to the pants than in the arms. The legs do go out, they do bend at the knee, and a hinge and rotation in the foot. He also, for the record, does not have any peg holes on the undersides of his feet, so even if he came with a display stand, he wouldn't be able to stand on the display stand. So there you have Jason Voorhees. Now, there's obviously more going on with Jason than just that. You obviously have the mask hood area as well. I always called this guy Hillbilly Jason. You can take the cord, and I've actually had to retie this because there is sadly, no simple way to do this. It's essentially just a burlap sack over top of the guy's face, and then you have to retie the cord. So when you take this off, you're going to have to retie all of this again. Again, there's no real simple way to do it. It's as accurate as it needs to be. We just take the cord off, a little string, put that to the side, and we can bring the camera in like so. Spot's going to grab the face mask and pull it off. I almost took the head off too. And there you have the very gruesome Jason Voorhees underneath, which we really only see near the end of Friday the 13th Part 2, which I almost think of as a more shocking reveal, a more shocking ending than the first Friday the 13th. I know the first Friday the 13th we have, the young Jason coming out from the water and grabbing the girl, but I don't know, I kind of imagine when he's smashing through the glass in Part 2, I got more of a shock from it than I did from the first shocking ending. Equally so, I also thought Part 3's ending was probably more shocking than Part 1 as well. I don't know, that's just me. But a very gruesome, long-haired hick Jason with his eye deformed. He's got a little bit of hair kind of covering over some of the eye area. I do dig that it's accurate to the movie, but it's also still got that retro look to it that I really enjoy. It may not be for everybody. Oh, certainly it may not be for everybody, these retro cloth figures from NECA, but I'm really digging them. If I could give Jason here a rating, I would give him a 7.5. Let's maybe do the honors of putting the mask back on. Nobody needs to see that. Spot will tie that up later. Today's toy spot, we were having a look at the NECA Friday the 13th Part 2, the retro cloth Jason Voorhees. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more videos heading your way, and also we're going to be having a look at more retro cloth figures as well. Those videos will be heading to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.